Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Meggett. I will be the instructor for Human Services 3103 Lifespan Development at Lindsay Wilson for the spring 2020 semester. As you can see, my information is right there, David Meggett, and those are my credentials. And I am also a doctoral candidate at the University of Wyoming. And so there's my phone number, 720-251-5806. If you need to get a hold of me and you want to meet face to face via Zoom or something like that, I'm pretty open as far as hours go in the evening, and on the weekends I'm fine too. If that's the only time that we can actually get it arranged. So let me know if you ever need to get face to face. I do my best to answer emails within 24 hours, and if you send me one on Friday, obviously I'm probably not going to respond to it um, until maybe Monday. If I see it over the weekend, I will respond though. And there's my email, meggettd@lindsay.edu. And of course, the course steward is Dr. Mattingly. And so the Lindsay Wilson College mission statement, School of Professional Counseling mission statement, and Human Services and Counseling Program mission statement. The course description, this is going to provide an overview of developmental issues of human beings throughout the lifespan from conception to death, including developmental stages, basic theories, concepts and principles of development, influences on development, and cultural understanding of development. The required text is this right here. So hopefully you have that, and we'll get going as soon as possible. This course is online for y'all, even though most of you are on the campus. We will follow the full 16 weeks like you all do on campus. And this is a fully online course, so you are going to be expected to take an active role in your own learning by completing the assigned readings, posting in discussion forums in a timely manner, and completing all required assignments. I'll provide a few recorded brief lectures like this, and maybe not even, I wouldn't even call them a lecture, but maybe an overview. And we will, of course, have discussion boards and things like that that I'll participate in as well. And hopefully you'll get what you need to get out of this class, and it should go by fairly smoothly. Upon completion of this course, you should be able to explain the characteristics of lifespan perspective of development and understand the major developmental issues such as nature versus nurture, continuity versus discontinuity, stability versus change, active versus passive, etc. Know some major theories of development: Freud, Erikson, Piaget, Vygotsky, information processing, including behavioral and social cognitive, social learning, Pavlov, Skinner and Bandura, ethological, Lawrence, and ecological, Bronfenbrenner as well. So we're going to get through a variety of different theories as we go along. And there'll be some side activities that coincide with and some little assessments that you'll be doing that coincide with the discussion boards. Understand the role that genetics plays in one's development, and describe what behavior and issues can be expected concerning a person's physical, cognitive, and social emotional development throughout all the stages of the lifespan. So those are the basic domains: physical, cognitive, and social emotional. Identify what factors influence an individual's physical, cognitive, and social emotional, both positively and negative, throughout all stages, and describe what behavior and issues can be expected concerning death, dying, and grieving. If you've never taken a death and dying course, it's actually a really interesting course. I'm not sure if Lindsay Wilson offers one, but when I was in community college, I took one of those death and dying courses, and it was actually very interesting. Not at all very morose or saddening as one may think it was. Identify what factors influence an individual's death and grieving process. Have a cultural understanding of development with diverse populations, and finally apply developmental knowledge to daily life. And there'll be some things that you're going to reflect on, especially in the discussion boards and the reflection paper that'll be due. And so the student learning object outcomes, of course, are there. If you haven't updated an email or a phone number or your home address has changed, please update that in Banner. Our course requirements are going to have the weekly discussion boards, and they are worth 25 points each. So most of the time you're just going to be answering some questions, and sometimes it's bullet points, sometimes it's a reflection, sometimes um, it'll be your opinion. So it'll vary from week to week depending on what the topic is, and just make sure that you stay on top of those. Don't get too far behind. Each week I'll send a chapter. There'll be a chapter test, and you'll have 2 hours to take the test. It's only worth 25 points. There's probably going to be 10 to 12 questions on it regarding the material. So they are open book, and these are intended to help you integrate the knowledge and concepts. And there will be a final exam covering all the chapters. Usually my final exam will actually just be maybe 25 questions, so 4 points each, from each of the chapters. There's 16 chapters, so you probably could expect maybe three questions from each chapter, and those questions will be probably taken from the quizzes. So if you have any questions about that, it shouldn't be hard. I don't make them all mixed up. So it'll be in order from chapter 1 to chapter 16. It should be fairly simple and straightforward for the final. And my goal is to help you be successful. If you are falling behind, you need to talk to me, please contact me. Okay. And then the one thing besides the discussion boards and the tests is the reflection paper. And I realize that there are people who are not human services in this course. And so it's okay to, with your reflection paper, to talk about how your profession or where you want to go interacts with the information that you're getting. Okay. So we have human services are professionals are often tasked with assisting families during their time of need. Choose a topic we have covered that you view as problematic for society or will cover according to the syllabus here. Communities, families, and or individuals, poverty, ageism, social media, single parenting, early childhood education, substance abuse, life satisfaction, materialism, etc. Find a minimum of 3 peer-reviewed research articles regarding the topic, then provide a summary of the articles. So I will give you some examples of that. It's not due until week 13. So over the next couple weeks, I'll send out a announcement with resources and information that will go with this reflection paper. A lot of times it's asking for peer-reviewed research articles, and most of the time I get Wikipedia or Google Scholar, and it's not necessarily a peer-reviewed article. So we'll talk about what a peer-reviewed article is and how to do some research. What resources and or referrals would be beneficial for the area of concern you noted? Would the suggested services to help with the issue be considered as prevention, intervention, or rehabilitation? And if you could create any program or service, regardless of the cost, what would it entail and how would it be beneficial? Okay. So for those of you who are not human services, you may consider, you know, criminal justice, for instance. What kind of services could you do that would help with any of the topics covered here, or any of the other programs that people may be coming from? And so, sorry, I didn't realize that I was tilted there. Out of all that, if you see 400, 400, 100, 100, that's 1,000 even. And so the grades and percentages are as such. An A is 930 to 1,000, A minus 900 to 929, B plus 870 to 899, a B is 830 to 869, a B minus is 800 to 829, C plus 770 to 799, C is a 700 to 769, D is a 600 to 699, and a failure is 599 and below. And so, if you're taking a test or completing anything, please make sure that it's your own work and that you're respectful of other people's time. Be kind. These are just some basic instructor policies. Be kind, be respectful, and be professional, especially in the discussion boards. Ask questions if you are having difficulty understanding concepts presented in this course. Please contact me as soon as possible. Uh, there's no silly questions. There's nothing that I want to get in the way of you learning. So please contact me if you have any questions at all. If you're getting behind, if you need some support, any of that stuff. So if you do have disabilities, I would ask that you please contact our disabilities office and get the proper documentation filled out. If you need more time for an exam or something like that, let me know. I'm giving everybody more than enough time, and everybody will have 2 attempts on everything except for the final exam. So the final exam will be 1 attempt. And so on the exams, I forgot to mention this. By Wednesday, I will have the exam posted for the week. And so from now until Wednesday, sometime Wednesday evening, I'll have the exam posted. Okay. And that gives you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the exam will be due by Sunday at midnight. If you miss an exam, then and on time. It's far easier if something is going on to call me, let me know what's going on versus doing it after the fact. So if the exam is due on Sunday, call me by Sunday evening to let me know that you're not going to complete it. Do not call me Monday morning because it's too late. If there's an issue going on, it doesn't take anything to text me. Hey, Professor Megget, I'm having some issues at home, whatever. And so let me know what's going on before something is due. If you let me know after it is due, I may or may not allow you to make up for a test. There are plenty of tests, so 25 points isn't a big deal if you miss one. You start missing 4 or 5, then it starts to become a big deal. So stay on top of that. The way the course will look is week 1 assignments. These are due by Sunday at midnight of the week. So January 13th to January 19th, review the syllabus. You have PowerPoints for chapters 1 and 2. Read the outlines for chapters 1 and 2 and read chapters 1 and 2. Watch the video on theories and then respond to discussion boards, questions 1 and 2. Or discussion board 1 and 2 questions, I should say. So January 21st is the last day to register. And week 2 assignments, PowerPoint 3 for chapter 3, outline 3, and read chapter 3. You have a video on motor sensory perception, and watch a video on false belief test, theory of mind and applied behavioral, and watch theory of mind video. And so you have those assignments due. Week 3, you have chapter 4 and those requisite. Chapter 5 is week 4. Chapter 6 is week 5. Chapter 7 is week 6. Chapter 8 is week 7. Make sure that you see that it goes down. There's a TEDx talk for Chapter 7 or for Chapter 8. Chapter 9 is week 8. Chapter 9 is, or Chapter 10 is week 9. And that is also spring break. So you have March 9th through the 13th. And you can either do your assigned stuff that week or you can push it back until week 10. So everything in week 9 is due at the end of March 22nd at midnight, along with all the stuff that's due for week 10. So you can do it either as part of week 9 or you can do it as part of week 10. And I will be opening up a week ahead of time. So if you want to work ahead as well and get it done before you go on spring break, you may do that as well. And either way, though, your midterm grades are due that week. So I will be submitting whatever status people are at that point. Week 10 assignments for Chapter 11. Week 11, Chapter 12. Week 12, Chapter 13. Week 13, Chapter 14. Week 14, Chapter 15. And Week 15, Chapter 16. Please know that I've done my best to try to get these. I adapted a 8-week program to a 16-week program, and I've been trying to work on Blackboard to make sure that everything is correct. There may be some minor changes of things due. I believe that one of the weeks there's actually two discussion boards that are going to be due, but I will let you know that. So this is a tentative schedule, and I may have to change things. If I do, I will make an announcement that things are changing. So your reflection paper, which is other than the discussion boards and the tests, is the only thing that you really have to do outside of the shell, and it will be due at the end of week 13. Human service professionals are tasked, etc. And so what you're going to do is provide a summary of the articles and the information regarding how human service professionals are currently addressing your topic of concern, what resources, and like I said, if you are from a different discipline, if you want to write it from a different perspective instead of human service professionals, you can write it from your perspective. But you'll need to make sure that you research articles within your field of expertise and work on that. So I'm fine with that. What resources and or referrals would be beneficial for the area of concern as you noted, and would the suggested services to help with the issue be considered as prevention, intervention, or rehabilitative? So briefly, prevention is, are you trying to make sure that something doesn't happen? Intervention, something's already happened and you're trying to help out with that person to make sure that it doesn't go any further. Or rehabilitative, it's already gotten to the point where the person has injured themselves socially, emotionally, physically. There's already genetic damage or things like that, and the person needs rehabilitation. And so the last point is, if you could create any program or service regardless of the cost, what would it entail and how would it be beneficial? So just a chance to kind of apply some of the things that you're learning, as well as be creative. The paper should be a minimum of 3 pages, not including the cover page or references, 3 pages of content, and a maximum of 5 pages in length, written in APA style, with a cover page and references page, not included in the minimum number of pages, like I said. Don't forget to cite your sources in text. And if you need help with that, you can look at APA Purdue OWL is a great resource for APA, and I will send out a link to that later. And click on the link provided in week 13, not week 7, and upload your paper. Your paper should be written with the following headings. So articles of summary article summary should be the first section, at which point you're going to summarize 3 articles, 3 peer-reviewed articles. That's important, peer-reviewed. And then resources and or referrals that are available. And then finally, whether or not it's prevention, intervention, or rehabilitative. And don't just write prevention. Tell me why it's prevention. Tell me why it's intervention, or tell me why it's rehabilitative. And then the last section in your paper should be my ideas. And so these are things that you've come up with as a way to um, provide services in the community, no matter what the cost would be. Just come up with ideas on how you would tackle whatever issue it is that you've come up with. And that is the syllabus. So please remember, like I said, the tentative course schedule is just that. It's tentative. So things may change. And if you have any questions, please email me or call me, and I will do my best to respond as quick as possible. Sorry for the long video. I will, in the future, whether it's a review of a chapter or anything like that, I will keep them shorter than this. So thank you for your time. I look forward to working with you this semester, and I hope you have a great semester. Thank you.